If you don't know anything about money, you have no freedom. You see, the reason there's no financial education in schools is to keep people tethered to the paycheck. So if you just step back for a moment and ask yourself, who in the world can fire you because you need that paycheck? Well, it goes all the way back to school. They said, go to school to get a job. It's in that mantra that sits between your left ear and your right ear that they hold you prisoner. I don't have any stocks or bonds or mutual funds. I don't have dollars. I use debt. I use everything they tell me not to do. You know, this here is, it's a US gold eagle. This is money. This here is a silver eagle, God's money. I started a gold mine in China, which they took, and then I started a silver mine in Argentina, which I still have. But the only stocks I have are stocks that I created. I am a capitalist. I am an entrepreneur. I don't mess with Wall Street. I don't mess with the banks, and I don't save money.
Today in the world, America especially, is this gap between the rich and everybody else. And I know the game of the rich. You know, my rich dad taught me the game the bankers and the rich play is different than what they teach you in school. I was on CNN calling the crash of 2008. I said, Lehman's going down. You can check it out. I said to Wolf Blitzer, Lehman's going down. And he goes, oh! And he got kind of flustered because they're not allowed to say something like that. And we had Gene Chatsky, who represents Wall Street, you know, the mutual funds and 401k guys. She goes, so they don't want what we know out there.
You see, if you cannot think, I cannot help you. I questioned all that. Why would I save money when they print money? That's what happened in 1971 when President Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. They can print as much as they like. Then they tell you, so that you go to school, you get a job, you become an employee. You pay taxes because you're working for money. Then they tell you to save money. Do you know why they tell you to save money? Because the system of banking has nothing to do with communism or capitalism. It's the banks run the world. The rich run the world. They don't care if you're communist or capitalist. So when you save, so let's say you save $1 US or €1 or 1 yen, the banking system can lend out 10. So the entire system is called the fractional reserve system. The fractional reserve system is also printing money. And then they tell you to save money. So they want you to save money so they can lend out your money 10 times. So your dollar became worthless 10 times over. And then they used to pay you 10% interest on your money. Now it's at best 1%. And they're still lending it out 10 times. So that's why you don't save money, is because your money is becoming worth less and less and less and less and less. The banks are getting richer and richer and richer. Then they tax you on that interest they pay you. That 1% interest, if they pay you that much. Japan is 0. And the Japanese are so stupid, they still save money. How stupid is that?
What you remember here is what people work for. It's 10 million Zimbabwe dollars. You know, every stupid school teacher I know will work for this. And that's what they teach you to work for, is this piece of trash, when you should be working for this. And today, Bitcoin, because it's decentralized. Centralized, as you know, centralized planning is also called communism. So what happened when Janet Yellen migrated from the Fed to the Treasury? You know, Wall Street is just an arm of the federal bank. That's all it is. Every CEO is tethered by the Fed. I mean, if you guys don't know what that means, it means you're being screwed. You're being screwed through your money.
I'm trying to explain to you, when they tell you get out of debt, that's stupid because the money is debt. And the only way money gets out of debt is via taxes. Money is debt. I use debt as money. And everybody thinks getting in debt is bad. Well, who told you that? I think the stock market is for losers. Why would you put money in the stock market when it's manipulated? That's what I think about. So I'm always watching the manipulation going on behind the scenes. That's what my brain is focusing on all the time. And I don't pay taxes. Most people in the United States cheat on their taxes because they hate taxes so much. But you don't have to cheat on taxes if you understood how money was working. You think Donald Trump pays taxes? No, we don't pay taxes. And that's the question. How is it we do that? That's an intelligent question. The reason you can't ask me this question because you don't know how I do it. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm constantly thinking about how do I make money? How do I serve more people? How do I create new businesses, make more money, and pay less taxes and serve more people?
My poor dad, PhD, stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. They don't know anything about money. And they're teaching our kids. And my rich dad was an entrepreneur who never finished school. And, the question I ask all over the world, what does school teach you about money? And the answer is nothing. And that's not a mistake. That's not an accident. I knew that. Most people know that. But the way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is never teach them what the rich know. It's what the rich teach their kids about money, the poor and middle class do not. Government wants jobs. They also want me to produce housing. We get massive tax breaks for that. The other thing we invest in is food. We invest in farms and all that. Because we produce food, we get tax breaks. Government wants food. And the other thing is oil, because oil is energy. The rich don't work for money. And most people don't understand that because they've already been genetically programmed from parents and schools to go to school and get a job and work hard for money. Now, the harder you work for money, the poorer you get. And the reason for that is money was designed to steal our wealth. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, because it makes me richer. But like the yin and yang of life, everything has opposite sides. So everything that rich dad taught me was opposite of what my poor dad was a school teacher, good people, but they don't know anything about money. So on one side, my poor dad's always saying, work hard, go to school, get a job, save money, and get out of debt. On the opposite side, the yang side, no, don't do that, So when I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it was about the opposites. That's all it was. And the rich don't work for money. The richest people in the world don't work for money. But the average person, that's not part of their consciousness.